Hello Fretwellers and welcome back to my Minecraft tutorial series. This is episode 80 and in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at some Nether Portal basics. Now before we get into today's episode, there is one thing I do need to mention. If I sound a little different or if the game sound comes out a little different, that's because I have changed recording programs. I'm actually trying recording on DxTory instead of Fraps. So I don't know how this is really going to turn out 100% yet. I'm hoping it's going to be good, but if I sound a little different than usual, then that is because of that. So, okay, let's get into today's episode. Now, I thought long and hard about how I wanted to do this tutorial because there's a lot you can do with Nether Portals, and a lot of it is quite advanced stuff, and it involves a fair bit of math knowledge and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick to the basics, and I'm going to show you how to make a portal network. So, in this world now, we've been playing on this world for 11 months or so, and we have a series of different bases now. We have our base over there with that portal where the wizard's tower is, as you can see off in the distance. We also have the blaze farm base in the nether, and we also have the stronghold. Now, getting to the stronghold isn't too bad, but it is kind of annoying to have to make that trek all the way from where we are here at the cottage all the way over to the stronghold off that way. It's roughly in that direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a portal network, which is going to be a series of tunnels for now, to connect all of our different locations together. And this will save on travel time and also enable us to get access to some of the new features, because right at the end of today's episode, we're going to take a journey far, far away from the cottage here, the wizard's tower, everything, and we're going to go into what is north, and I know that there is a big plains biome up there that I have not generated, and hopefully we can get some horses, and that's what we're going to talk about, probably starting either in the next episode or within a couple of episodes. So that's going to be the aim for now, and I guess the first thing to do would probably be talk about how portals on a basic level actually work. Now, as I explained back in the Nether episode, I'm just going to mosey on over to the Wizard's Tower. Portals, well, the Nether is actually on a ratio with the Overworld 8:1 blocks. And what I mean by that is, when you take one step in the Nether, you have travelled the equivalent of 8 blocks in the Overworld. So as you can imagine, this actually makes travel very quick. And for today's episode, we're going to produce a series of conjoining tunnels and ladders to all of our different places. However, there is a problem with bases that are close together, and that is when you build a portal, it will sometimes bring you back to a portal you've already created. And it can also happen if you build a portal in the Overworld, which is too close. Typically it happens more in the Overworld than it does in the Nether, but there we go. And if you build something that is a little too close, then you can end up with portals conflicting and you end up going to the wrong place. Now, as you can see in my inventory, I have plenty of obsidian and some flint and steels, and we have this main portal here. This is our only portal to the Nether at the moment, but there is a bunch of different places that we need to get access to the Nether from, and the most obvious candidate is the stronghold, because beyond the stronghold is actually the end portal, and then the end, and the ender and all that good stuff. And I wish the world would load. So we really need to improve travel from here to there, and the easiest way to do that is to build a Nether portal there, then work out the coordinates of that, and then build a portal in the correct place in the Nether. This is how you do it. And then those two portals will connect, and the portal that we already have in the Nether will stay connected to this one. And we're going to do the same thing when we venture to the north to get the horses and stuff. Now, I'm not sure if when we go to the north, they will actually conflict or not. It's a good travel distance, so we may end up not conflicting, but we'll have to see on that. So the eventual aim with this is to actually create a series of minecart tunnels which will improve our speed even further, so that we can just pop into the Nether, take a minecart ride, and hey, we're at the Ender Ender. So that's kind of the eventual aim. Now, we're not going to talk about minecarts for a little while yet. We are going to talk about horses first. And the reason we're going to talk about that is because for the past couple of episodes or so, for a reasonable amount of time now, we've done a lot of building projects, and we haven't done much adventure. So we're also going to kind of take a break from building and go do some adventure things. And probably after the horses, we'll do minecarts, and then lastly, I think we'll do the mushroom biome. So that's the kind of aim at the moment, and having quick access to the Ender Ender from not only my base now, but all the future bases that we are going to have in this world is going to be super duper handy. You can see where I took the sand out for last episode. And the reason I say that it's going to be super duper handy is because we don't have to go traipsing all over the place just to do enchanting or anvil work or whatever it is that it happens to be. I probably should investigate that at some point. Not today, though. Today is another day for... That didn't make any sense. We'll investigate that another day. So, that's going to be the aim, really. And I'm sure if you have played on a multiplayer server, then you have seen that people have come up with nether hubs and so forth, which we will look into doing when we get onto minecarts. If you watch my Vanilla Go-Get series, then you will have seen a nether hub. We're going to build something a little similar to that eventually. But for right now, I think that we should get the portals hooked up together so that we can travel between bases, and then at that point we should go do something adventure-y. I think I've investigated that temple. I think the village is just beyond it. I'm not 100% sure on that. But here we are. Here is the old stronghold cabin. And I'm not going to build the portal up here. I'm going to build it down below. Now, I'm going to explain some basic maths to you here, and you can do this by using a calculator. Most operating systems come fitted with one, or if you have one to hand, then you can just use that one as well. It doesn't really matter. So, where should we put this portal? I'm thinking maybe right here. And we're going to build an economy portal. This is something that we've never built. I don't typically like them, but we're going to build an economy portal like so. As you can see, we have a portal frame right here. Now, when I light this portal, what's going to happen is I'm going to sync up with the portal that's already in my world, which is over at the Wizard's Tower, and then when I go back through that portal, I'm going to come out at the Wizard's Tower, rendering this portal effectively useless. So what we need to do is go into the Nether and put a portal at the correct location. I'm not going to go into how it does it. There's a bunch of calculations that happen, which you really don't want to know. So we'll just kind of cut that bit out, and I'll just keep to the simple parts for right now. So we're going to go to the Nether, and we're going to build a portal at the correct location, and then what's going to happen is that portal will sync up with this one, and the two portals that we already have will just remain paired. Now, the way you do that is you press F3. And you will see that there are three coordinates there, X, Y, and Z. Now, the first thing you can do is ignore Y. Y doesn't matter. So, we have an X of 822 and a Z of -134. Don't worry about the numbers, which are after the decimal point. That is just a fractional thing. It really doesn't matter. So, now what you need to do is pull up these numbers, and you also need to pull up a calculator, which for me is going to be on Windows 8. I'm going to have to go into my start panel, and then I'm going to have to do a quick search here, because they didn't well design it, did they? Let me see. There we go. We've got a calculator now. So with this calculator, I can actually calculate where the Nether portal should be based on the overworld coordinates. So we need to do 822, in our case, divided by 8, because 8 to 1 block ratio. And that will bring us out at 102.75. Now, you could go with 102 or 103. It doesn't really matter all that much. Now, what you're really going to want to do is kind of write this down if you can, so that you can remember. I'm going to jot it down on one of the computer sticky notes here on screen, so that I've got a quick reference of it. So, we need to write down 102. And I'm just going to put the 75 anyway, just to be exact. And then we also need to do the same thing with the Z coordinate. So we're going to put in the minus symbol first, and then 134. Actually, according to the Windows calculator, you put that in last, and then you're also going to divide that by 8, and that will bring you out at minus 16.75. So we're also going to write that down, and again, it doesn't matter about the fractional coordinates, I'm just writing them down anyway. So now what we need to do is we need to light this nether portal. We can take these down now. We need to light this nether portal, and we need to go to the nether. And this should bring us out at the nether portal here, which it does. And what we now need to do is actually locate 102 and minus 16.75. And Z is this way, so we're just going to pop out the back here. There we go. So we need to go to minus 16.75. In our case, just minus 16. And then we need to go to 102, which is this way. I hear gas all around. Lovely. Have your bow at the ready here, and get my pickaxe just back on the bar. So this won't be too far away, honestly. I brought ender pearls with me for this exact reason. We can kind of speed the process up. We are currently at... we've just passed it. So here would be an ideal place to put this portal. Now, we are right in the middle of nowhere. And I see that ghast over there. He's going to become a problem real fast. Let me just kind of take care of him. Oh, he's going to have render view again. So here would be the ideal place to put this portal. Now, there is a problem. We're right in the open here. And rather than build a brand new sort of base, if you will, right here in the middle of the netherrack, we're going to dig it up right to the ceiling. Now, I actually didn't bring any blocks with me, so we're just going to have to kind of mine some, which, you know, is fine. There's plenty of netherrack around. I will eventually come in here and change it with stone bricks. And why are we placing it in the ceiling? Well, for one, the coordinates of the Y do not matter, and two, because it enables me to connect it up with a minecart a lot easier later. So this is the block where the portal needs to go. So we're just going to kind of go a bit further away from that. Just going to kind of go like this. Now, the disadvantage to using netherrack is obviously that we're going to be susceptible to ghast fire and stuff blowing up, which is not fun. So we're just going to have to kind of manage for right now, really, until I can get a better material. I did mean to bring some stone bricks with me, which I have back at my base. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build this all the way up into the nether ceiling. And you will notice that there is obviously the ceiling there is a large chunk of netherrack which separates the top of this cavern here, and then eventually the bedrock at the top of the map. I'm going to need my next stack of ladders, and I'm running pretty low on netherrack. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will see you on the flip side of that. So I will be right back, guys. Okay, so we're now at Y of 107, and we're going to go a bit higher because the bedrock of the map begins to appear a little higher than this. Now, just be careful of the odd lava source block, which can generate if your land is 1.5 generated or newer. I think we should go up to maybe 116 would be a reasonable amount, I would say. And now we just need to go back to, obviously, the 102, and we're still at the minus 16. So now, right here, we can actually create ourselves a nether portal. I'm just going to carve the area out a little bit. There we go. Let's get a little area going. There we are. I'm filling a little bit of this because it's kind of a mess. Alright, so we're only 3 wide at the moment, so we're going to have to extend that by 1. And now what we can do is I'm going to go ahead and create another portal. Oops, I didn't mean to place that there. We're going to place this in the floor for convenience. And we want to do this, and then that. And what we should find now, according to the math, is that we should come out at the stronghold. So let's light the portal. Let's go through. I'm going to take those down for the time being. So here we go. And there we are. We're actually back at the stronghold. So despite us being within range of that other portal, and I believe the range is 1028 blocks. So if you are within 1028 blocks of a portal, then your other one isn't going to work properly. Now, if we go back into the Nether, we should be brought out at the portal we just built, which we are. And that is basically Nether Portal basics. There's not too much to it, certainly to a basic level beyond that. Now in the Nether, any portals that are built within 128 blocks of each other are probably going to kind of collide. Now in the overworld that isn't very much, so you shouldn't really worry too much about that. I'm just going to create a little bit of a room right here. Now the next step to this is actually going to be to connect these two portals together. And we already know the coordinates for one. We didn't jot down the coordinates of the other, however, on the way out. So we're going to have to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead above this and go right up against the bedrock. And then we're going to bridge all the way, well not bridge, dig all the way through to the other side. And we're going to drop down above this portal. So we're going to head over here. And we're going to go back to our original portal. Probably going to need ender pearls for that. And here we are, there's any gas around. Hey, magma dude. Oh boy. This is not what I want to see. They can kind of follow us. Oh, and now we've got a ghast. Where are you at? There you are. Oh, get out of here. Yep, magma cube. There we are. Now I'm going to have to take care of him, too. Get out of here. I'll get the smaller variants. Just getting even more fun. So as you can see, the portals aren't all that far apart, which is why I brought stone pickaxes and not going to waste my diamond one. But it's close enough to the point where in the overworld, the distance is becoming a bit too much. So we can now go in here. Really should put a door on this at some point. And where should we put the ladder up from here? I'm thinking we have this area right here. And this is kind of built into the netherrack, so we're probably going to use this area if I was going to use any. Now, I brought more wood with me, and I don't have any wood in there or in there, but I think we're going to need some more ladders to get to the ceiling, so I'm going to create a bunch more. There we go. And we'll create 50 ladders. And what are we on now? Oh, we're already on 86, so yeah, that will be plenty. So now we're going to dig all the way up to right against the bedrock. And then at that point, we are going to dig to the coordinates which we wrote down for the other portal. And we're going to drop down right above it. And obviously we can kind of shuffle around and connect the ladder as we see fit. So where are we at now? 105. There we go, we're at 112. Just got to keep going. Oops. I don't really like the way that the ladder works. It does that. Whoa, weird cave up here. Right, there's the bedrock. So we can't go any higher than that for sure. So we're going to continue our ladder well up to right against the bedrock, and we'll just go one below it. And we need to now dig to those coordinates. And the first coordinate to obviously do would probably be the Z, as it's closer. I'm going to just put a little torch here. We'll connect that ladder up. And now we need to go obviously to the -16 again. I did not bring a fire resistance potion. That means we're going to have to be pretty careful because lava can sometimes generate now in netherrack, and that could be painful to say the least. So we want to probably avoid that. There we go. Just if you pass through any caves, I'm just going to fill them in. It's not far now. I'm going to dig the rest of the way with stone picks because I don't want to waste my diamond pick anymore on something like this. Stone digs netherrack fast enough. So minus 15, so that means that this one will be minus 16, which is exactly what we want. And now we need to dig to 102 this way. Now I'm going to cut that part out because that's quite boring, so I will see you after that. Okay guys, so I've built the tunnel between the Wizard's Tower and the Stronghold, and as you can see I'm over here now at the Blaze Farm, and we're also going to build another ladder up to the ceiling here at the Blaze Farm, and we're going to connect this up. I wrote down the coordinates to where the tunnel links up at the Stronghold base, so we're going to connect with that tunnel now. So we're going to head up here past the Blaze, and as you can see I've already got a ladder kind of started, so we can take advantage of that and then just kind of keep heading up. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this one now, and I will see you after that. Okay guys, so I have built the ladder to the Blaze Farm now, and for the rest of this episode we are going to head over to some new generation and build a portal there, so that in the next couple of episodes we can start on the horse stuff. Now you may be asking what I'm doing over here in the cottage base. Well, we're going to kind of get a travel package together to take with us. I'm going to bring supplies for an ender chest with me, and we're going to set up a little base over there. So I did do a bunch more mining. As you can see, I've made a bunch of stone bricks, and I have some cobblestone in here because I was running pretty low. Did get 12 more diamond ore while I was doing some mining in my branches, so I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and get this travel package together, and then I will bring you back in and we will head over to the new generation. So I will be right back, guys. Okay guys, so I've agonized over what I want to bring with me, but I think I've got it to the point now where I've got everything that I can that I really want to take with me to the new terrain. I've got all of my ores, and not sure about the slime balls, but all of my resources and things in here. Pistons, tripwire hooks, plenty of coal, I've got some obsidian going. I do have materials to make an ender chest, but I don't have enough obsidian in my inventory to do so. So we're going to have to swap 8 bits of obsidian out for something else. We don't need the saddle. In fact, we'll put that pickaxe in there. These are the same. That's almost busted. I could really do with repairing that, but unfortunately I can't. That's just how things have fell. We'll hopefully be able to recon with the Stronghold at some point soon, so that I can actually do some repairs. So, I'm not sure what time of the day it is, so we'll have to just kind of check that out and see. It's daytime. I know that my spawn is set, so what we can do now is we can actually see what time it is, and I'm probably gonna start moving. Sun's setting. I'm going to wait until the sun has come down, and then I will begin to set off, and I'm probably going to time-lapse it. So I hope you enjoy that, and I will see you over in the new generation. And there it is. Here we are. We're in 1.6 code now. As you can see, we've got lots of horses all over the shop here. We've got different varieties. So we have ran, whoa, not actually all that far. Maybe less than 1,000 blocks on the -Z, I'm guessing. Yeah, it looks that way. So now what I want to do is I want to find a nice place to kind of start a new home. Ooh, that looks pretty cool down there. Now, oh, brilliant, we have some donkeys too. I was worried that we might not get any. Eek, they're pretty close to this ravine though. But I think that they have intelligence as to not walk off. So we'll be able to do donkeys and stuff too. So that's one thing that we're going to look into. Anything nice about this ravine? Doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary. But we'll check that out later, no doubt. I'll probably go caving in there at some point to get myself some more resources, because you can never have too many resources in this game. Let me see, what's over this hill then? I'm going to kind of do a bit of adventure here. Ooh, we have some nice mountains. Weird floaty thing over there. I don't really want to go into the mountains, but it's cool to know that we've got this over here. Got some pigs here. I did see some chickens not far away, and some sheep on the edge where the snow biome meets the plains. So we'll be able to set up some little animal farms. I hope that those donkeys don't fall off there for sure. May lead them away, hopefully anyway, so that they don't happen to fall into the ravine and die, because then I won't be able to teach you about donkeys, and that's rather important. So let's just head over here and see what's over here. I kind of want to get my home in a nice new spot. There's lots of horses around though, so this is good. We've got a good amount of choice, and I'll talk about horses more in another episode, but it's good to know that we have these here. I was worried that we may get a rather limited selection, but nope. It seems that we've got plenty of choice. We've got some more over here. We've got some cows over here as well, so that we can set up a pretty decent sized cow farm. And we've got a forest over this way. This is quite a big plains, but it seems that all the horses are behind us now. Let me see, where would be a nice spot? Got a nice big cave there. I'm thinking near the ravine might be a good place, because we kind of fade off here into forest, although there is a little bit more this way. I think that, yeah, this begins to fade off into a snow biome and a forest this way. This is the end of the plains, so we won't be able to, I think it kind of does stretch on a little bit over there. So we want to stay within the plains if we can. So I'm thinking next to the ravine might be a good place for our temporary shelter for a little bit. I'm just going to throw up a quick hut, cabin, whatever you want to call it, and we can kind of go from there really. So let's go and relocate the ravine, and then I'll get to whipping up a quick little cabin or hut, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, here's some chickens as well, so we've got those. We've got pretty much every passive animal around. Pigs there. So we've got a good amount of food and livestock. Yeah, some cows there as well for moving forward, so that's always good. Maybe not right next to the ravine, because the majority of the animals are over this way. So maybe on top of this hill, perhaps? Where is the ravine from here? I think it's just a little bit back that ways. Plus here we do have a nice bit of flat area. We're near the mountains as well. Potentially we've got this nice little valley here which we could develop. There's a bit of a cave system right there. So I think this is probably the best place. We'll put a house on the hill right here, and then we'll have room for an animal barn that I want to build, and our horse stable probably over there. Gonna have a nice pathway. We could have some farms going on over here, and looks like there's something that way. So we've got plenty of room here and some nice flat terrain to build on. So I think that this is where we're going to build my new home for the time being anyway. So let's get to whipping up a cabin. Well, here we go. It's not very pretty yet, or really that nice. We've got no floor or anything, but it is a basic cabin, and we can kind of just get set up for the night. One thing I didn't bring with me was actually any wool, so I can't make a bed. So I'm going to have to wait until the next day and go out and find some before I can get some wool and get a bed going. Now, I can, however, make an Eye of Ender with the blaze rods that I bought with me. And, whoops, and there we go, Eye of Ender. So I can get an ender chest set up. There we go. I'm going to probably... where do I want to put this ender chest? Maybe over here in the corner. We've got access to all of that stuff now as well. And I'm thinking that we probably want to get some furnaces kind of up here pretty quickly. There we are. And I'll get these set up. And we'll make another double chest. And I know that this is a Portal Networks tutorial, but sometimes you've got to do these things. I do have enough obsidian left so that I can make a nether portal. I think that we will sync back to the new one, so to the old one, should I say, not the new one. And then I'll have to find the coordinates and build another portal once again, but that is perfectly fine. So I've got this double chest here. I guess I could start and unload my valuables from the ender chest. And I'm just going to have to wait until daytime comes so that I can get out there with a pair of shears and shear some sheep and get a bed going, and then set my spawn before we go and do anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, guys, and then I will once again be right back. Okay, guys, so I've got a bed down now. I went and got my wool that I needed, and I've also got the portal set up, as you can see right here, and we're about to light it. There we go. Now, I don't know where this is going to bring us out at, but if it does bring us out at one of the other ones, I have got the coordinates. I took the coordinates of this portal, and I divided them by 8, as we do, and that gives me an x of minus 9.5, and a z of minus 132.25. So, let's see where this brings us out at. Now, I have a feeling we're going to link up with the stronghold one. Yep, thought so. So, we need to go to an x of minus 9.5, and we have a tunnel right here along the x coordinate, so we can take advantage of that. And we're going to run all the way to 9.5. Minus 9.5, should I say, not normal 9.5. So here we are. Minus 9 is this block right here, and we are going to go to minus 132 is where the portal is going to be situated at. So we've got a little bit of a dig to get there, but it's nothing too challenging. We need to dig around 110 blocks to get there. So I think we should really just kind of either speed this up or cut it out. I'm not sure yet. So let's get to that, and I will resume once we get to where we need to be. So I guess I don't know what to say here because it's not a be right back. To the time lapse. Here we go, we've got the portal set up now at the end of the tunnel. Just come down a little bit as the Y coordinate doesn't matter, and we are right on the right coordinate. So let's light the portal, and hopefully we get brought out back at our cabin and not anywhere else. And yes, we do. So we're back here at the cabin, and if I venture back through, then we should come out at that portal and not the stronghold one, which we do. So now we've got a functioning portal over to the horse plains, I guess we can call them, the horse plains. And the sun's going down, so I can set my spawn point here now. And I have all the equipment that I'm going to need. And I think that that's going to be just about it for today's episode, guys. So I hope that you've enjoyed and you found it useful. The main objective really was to teach you how to build a basic portal network, and the way you do that is by taking your overworld portals and dividing them by 8 and finding the respective portal in the nether, building it up if you have to, and that's pretty much it really. So We can jump in the bed here and I can set my spawn. Now, next episode, I know you guys probably want me to start messing with horses and all that stuff, but we're not quite ready for that yet. I'm going to be building an animal barn, I think, next episode, and we're going to kind of start work down here. And then maybe after that, we'll probably start work on the horses. There's a couple of things I still need to do yet before we actually get here, get into the horse stuff. But we're getting ever closer. We actually have horses in this world now, and we also have donkeys and all the new features. I imagine that there's probably all the updated terrain has the enchanted books and so forth that we didn't have back at the original base. So probably should put that flint and steel away. Because I'm living in an entirely wooden house. So I think that that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. And until then, see you later, and have a good day.